We don't want to just consume from the creators that we follow the things that we're interested in. We want to also know that they've got a real life as well. I want to share some steps and practical things around this whole thing of being the content. What does be the content look like? You know, you're giving people a window to your world, and it really
humanizes a person.
It makes what you're doing attainable.
It shows that other people are doing this, and then people are more likely to also do it if they know that someone else is doing it. Whatever you were already gonna be doing,
right?
Wherever you were already gonna be doing, whatever it is that you were gonna do, capture that.
And when we look at content from that perspective, a lot of things fall into place very naturally. Okay, repeat this phrase 5 times every morning for the rest of your life. I am the content. I am the content. See, you already stopped. You started laughing. I am the content. Do different inflections. Say it low, say it high, say it fast, say it funny, say it pensive. I am the content. Tell your family members to point at you and say, you are the content. If you get that into your spirit, I'm telling you, you're going to start to recognize that there's content literally everywhere. There's content literally everywhere. That phrase sometimes feels weird to people because our natural inclination is to downplay. Our natural inclination is to be allergic to being the content or to being in the spotlight. Most people think that receipts are something you use to return something to the store, or receipts are something for your accountant. Right. But receipts are where you're just sharing with people. This is what I have done. This is what I do. This is the life I live. And it's not a matter of being for bragging. It's not a matter of being prideful. It's literally just saying, this is a window into my world. Right. And when we look at content from that perspective, a lot of things fall into place very naturally. So here's a question. What if the difference between a potential client selecting you or someone else was the trust you've built with your digital footprint? Would you post? I can't answer that for you. You've got to answer that for yourself. Daniel Priestley says this: to move a person from stranger to buyer, they've got to go through this 7-11-4, right? 7 hours of content.
Whoa.
11 interactions. So whether they're liking, they're sharing, they're viewing, and 4 different locations or platforms. Now, it isn't not just so like in person, audio podcast, video podcast, but set 4 different types of platforms: social media, email, website, events, whatever. The goal is to create a sense of familiarity or a personal relationship where the audience feels like they know you, they trust you, and the trust part is the part we're going after. When I realized that I not only had my audience's but I had their trust, that shifted some things for me. I had to show up a little bit different. And quick little story. I went to Podfest. Podfest is a podcast fest, but they just call it Podfest. So it took the cast off. So I go to this Podfest. I'm supposed to be one of the speakers. These 2 ladies show up there. And they're like, oh, the Geek Speaker Preacher, we're excited to see you. I'm looking at them like, hey, how are you? And I expected to see some of my audience members there. But these 2 ladies were like, we came to this conference because you said you were coming here.
Oh, wow.
We came because we wanted to meet you.
Wow.
We came because you said something in your story about, doing something for this conference. And once we saw that, we went down the rabbit hole, found that you were speakers. I didn't really announce not like that. But we found that you were one of the speakers. We're in this area. It was podcast that year was in Orlando, Florida. And so we figured, boom, let's register because we get a chance to meet Kirk.
That's deep.
And I was like, oh, okay, that's interesting. It wasn't a post where I was talking about, here's how you create content. Here's how you become this influencer. Here's how you do all these things. It was just a lifestyle post saying, super excited and pumped that I'm going to be speaking at this event.
This is what I'm doing.
This is what I'm doing. Yeah. It's a I am the content kind of post. And those kinds of posts really help to move the needle. A friend of mine, he posted about his daughter, breaking her arm. We all say, aw, right? This is a very much a life experience. That's not what his content is about.
Right.
His audience resonated with it, though.
Interesting.
Because we don't want to just know we don't want to just consume from the creators that we follow the things that we're interested in. We want to also know that they've got a real life as well.
Right.
And
That they're
so
whole people.
that they're whole people,
Yeah.
that they're whole people.
Yeah.
And so I want to share some steps and practical things around this whole thing of being the content. But first, let me just say, this is the How It All Works podcast.
Hi. Introduction.
Introductions are important. I'm your host, Kirk Nugent, and this is
Taina Nixon.
and she's our co-host. I want to say this, y'all. If y'all have not been following both of us on all the different platforms, right around here, we're going to put something on screen that shows our handles and, of course, our names. And we want to make sure you guys get a chance to follow because we want to hear from you. Put a DM in, comment on something that you see. We want to hear from you. We want to hear how you are being the content. Plus, if you follow, you also see us doing exactly what we're going to be talking about in today's episode.
Right.
How does that impact you? How do you do that? What does it look like practically to be the content? Well, we're going to share with you some of those tools, tips, best practices for you to be able to consume today. Now, one of the things that I always like to say here is that you have your topic area. We've talked about that. We've talked about what is your why, what is the value proposition that you go with. I kind of touched on this, I already alluded to it earlier, and yes, that is the thing that you want people to know you for. But you also, however, comma, all right? You want them to know that you're a real person.
Yeah.
You want them to know that you've got good days, bad days. You even talked about putting this into one of your, get ready with me on a day when I don't feel like
that. And it's to this day still one of my highest performing pieces of content because I think people they resonated with it. Like, oh, you're a regular person.
You're a regular person.
You're not perfect, whatever. And then also they just get to see like behind the scenes of what you're doing. So I also showed like, oh, here's me recording some content. Here's me doing a coaching call. Like, so then they're like, oh, this is you actually doing the work, doing the thing that we've come to know you for. Yeah. And I think that adds like credibility.
Absolutely.
Right. And it helps people to see like, oh, you actually do the thing. You don't just talk about doing the thing.
This is why I don't ever share the notes with her because it's like you're reading off of it. The behind the scenes thing. I said this to a coaching client recently. I was like, man, you need to do some BTS stuff. She's like, oh, my I don't have much of a behind the scenes. I don't have a studio like you. And I was like, what does BTS mean to you?
Because this is actually the scene, girl. Like this is the scene. Behind the scene. That's what we're talking about.
I was like, what do you mean you don't have a behind the scenes? What? She was like, well, behind the scenes is like, showing the rest of the space and the different angles. I was like, no, that's not behind the scenes. Behind the scenes is, so what people see up front. So one of the guys in the pilot program, his name is Dre Labordi. I don't know if you're familiar with him, but he hosts a lot of events around the city. And so he is seen on stage hosting. He's an MC. Right. That's what he does.
Right.
But his content kind of shows what happens before he comes out of the curtain, before he steps on the stage. That's behind the scenes. It's not behind a camera, like on the other side of the camera. It's more so what happened before I hit record, what happened after I hit.
Or if I know you for a thing, how do I get to the point where I'm doing the thing? Right. So like if you know that I'm a meteorologist, you want to see when I wake up, I have to wake up probably at 2 a.m. or something, right?
I've seen these posts,
yeah,
by the
you've
way.
Seen them. Yeah. And they get up at 2 a.m. and people are like, how are you doing this? And they also show you they went to bed at 7, right? They went to bed at 7, they woke up at 2, they show you the process. They're getting makeup done.
Boom.
And then the scene is them in the studio telling you the weather.
I saw a post from somebody that I follow, and most of your YouTube videos, it's waist up for the most part, and my shots. If you see some of my, they're waist up, but you can, if you were looking at me at the desk, you might see like a little bit of the jeans,
the pants, yeah,
right, just a little bit. And so he has a video on Instagram where he pulled a clip from his some thing he recorded, and you're seeing like it's just a little bit of his jeans, but it's not, or his pants. But it's not real. It's like pajama pants. Now you couldn't tell if you were, if
you were watching him on YouTube.
Right. If you were watching him on the regular video where this thing was posted, it would have been innocuous. You really wouldn't have, you had to really zoom in.
Yeah.
But he, in his post on Instagram, he zoomed in and he's like, you see that right there? Those are my pajamas.
Okay, that was some of my favorite content from the pandemic. When we're all at home, was when people would show themselves like in their suit jacket and and then at the bottom they're like wearing shorts or boxers or something. That was some of my favorite. That humanizes a person.
Everything, yeah,
and
everybody.
It doesn't make you take them any less seriously in their job, right?
Their content,
in their work.
what they were sharing, that's what's so perfect. And this is what it is when you have to be the content kind of stuff that you put out there. So this guy, he puts that thing up, and his whole point for this post on Instagram was to say that video had something ridiculous, 15, 20,000 views 4 days after it was posted. So he's showing, he's like, okay, you see those pants right there? Those are my pajamas. Now, why in the world do I have on my pajamas for this video? Because 2 minutes before I went live, such and such happened. He kind of shared this whole thing about what happened with his family. And so he just barely got in to get into the call for this piece of content that he was recording. But that humanizes him. It gives people a window in. Everybody's laughing. There's so many comments underneath. It's like, oh, I remember. People are saying, I remember this video. I loved it. I can't believe that happened 5 minutes before. That is so crazy. You're giving people a window to your world. And it really, it not only, so it does more than just make you human. It makes what you're doing attainable. It makes it seem like, okay, so it's not going perfect for them either. Like they're not just this monolith. No, things were falling down and falling apart 2 minutes before we hit the record button. And then we figured it out and we got it together.
I think that makes people trust you.
There's the piece.
It makes people trust you even as a business person, to know that you're also just a person too. So that they can trust you.
There's a couple of things I want to share here, because everybody, every now and again, it sometimes we try to give you the practical, and I hope that you can parse out some of those pieces in terms of what does be the content look like. Well, if you're a coach, it looks like recording some of those sessions. It looks like pulling clips with permission, of course, from your client. And maybe I haven't personally posted clips of coaching sessions, but I do post another angle of myself.
Correct.
And what I'm saying, not necessarily what they're saying. So you want to be careful with that, but I'm saying capture it. Because there are things that I have said in a coaching call that I probably never would have said it any other time or that way, except that this person asked the question that way. And so capturing that and being able to go back through and say, that's good. Let me clip that out and share just that one little piece. But what you're doing, you're communicating two things. We've talked about this before. You're communicating direct value of what you said in that clip, but you're also showcasing, like, this is me on a coaching call. And somebody else trusted me to be able to be their coach.
That's social proof. So it shows that other people are doing this, and then people are more likely to also do it if they know that someone else is doing it.
Absolutely. And so some of the practical steps is you want to practice capturing significant moments. And the thing for be the content, right? Be the content in quotes, content. For this kind of content, you do have to practice capturing the content. You don't want to, I don't know how else to put that. You don't want to, in the moment is the worst time to try and figure out, like, how do I record this? Yeah. You want to practice, those kinds of things. And you want to start really being sensitive, opening your mind to, like, this could be a moment right here. Another creator that I follow took his wife out to dinner, and, not with her in the shot, but he recorded some clips and shared a piece of that, just basically saying, man, sometimes you got to unplug. I'm tonight I'm hanging with, I'm making sure that she's the only person in the world.
Right.
And I thought that was absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
It's nothing to do with the value I follow him for.
Right.
But it humanizes him. Now, he had to, as I'm watching this clip, I'm like, he had to be intentional about how he was going to capture this.
You know what that is? I think because there's a lot of there's just a lot of content in my phone. Just stuff, right? But it's not necessarily, I don't always know what I'm going to do with it.
That's good. That's good.
Right? So like, especially, I remember when I the first time that I got paid to create video for another company, it was actually a company in the UK. And they were, it was dope. It was dope. But I had to calculate the the
exchange
pound,
rate.
the exchange rate. I was like, so how much are you paying me?
Hold up, carry the two.
So I can negotiate a little bit. But so they were asking me, I did the camera facing content, right?
Yeah.
About family and motherhood.
Mm-hmm.
And then they were like, do you have any B-roll that we could use? And I was like, yes, I do, because I'm always capturing content. So I just went through my phone. I was like, I can't believe I'm getting paid for this. These are just like memories from my family. This is just stuff that I'm always getting. If I see a nice sunset, are you one of those people? Are you a sky person?
You gotta have the sunset.
Okay, apparently there are sky people and there are non-sky people.
No.
There are people who
everyone
like
should be sky people.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, it's gorgeous. How did you not? Why would you not document that?
What? There are people who are not.
My
sky
husband
people?
is not a sky. I said, you don't have any pictures of the sky in your phone? He was like, why would I have pictures of the sky on my phone? I said, wow.
Yo, so living in, this is a huge side note, but living in Africa, those sunsets are stupid. I mean, there are times where we would pull over and just stand there like, you take a picture of the phone and just be like, this is.
It doesn't even do it justice, but you have to try because it's so beautiful.
You got to capture it.
You know?
Some way,
so like, I'm that person.
Yeah.
We're riding in the car on a road trip or something. And I'm like, I'm going to get the shot outside that we're looking at, because it's a gorgeous view, especially when we're going over a bridge. Paul is like, how many of these videos do you have? I'm like, it doesn't matter. It's a great view. It's gorgeous. So I'm always going to get that. And then I'm also going to get us in the car. So I always get like me, Paul, baby. Like every time I'm good, because it's a moment. It's like
a moment.
All of us are enjoying this view and we're doing it as a family. And I love that.
Oh, that is.
And
gold.
then someone paid me to give them that content, and I was like, enjoy.
everything you say. So there are going to be times where you're pulling from clips that you just recorded and you had no idea what you were going to use.
But then,
it for.
I know why I brought up the sky thing.
Right.
I brought up the sky thing specifically because sometimes when I want to convey a message, I don't necessarily want to speak to camera. It's just like me wanting to either do a voiceover or like put a quote of mine or something on a screen.
Yes.
I have videos from the sky of streams that I've walked over and that I thought it was beautiful. I just took a video of it. Yeah. Like, I'm not in the moment doing that. I just have content in my phone that I think in the moment, this could be used for something later.
Else, and you don't necessarily have to know exactly what you're going to use it for, but you're capturing it because it could work.
It could work.
And sometimes it doesn't.
Yeah.
Well, who cares?
Because
you have the content.
Different types. I'm a lifestyle creator, like largely. So a lot of that kind of content works. Nature, my family, whatever. But I also have just B-roll of me doing work.
Things,
me at my desk.
Come on.
Me, in front of the camera. I'm
everything you're saying, yes.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. Now, some of this stuff, so I want to, that's first piece, of course. Train your mind to be thinking through, this is what my day looks like today. And I probably can capture different little clips here or there. Don't want to make it hard. We don't want to make it to be a whole other.
It's not a production.
It's not a production.
Set the phone up.
Set the phone up and be done with it. I don't even use an external mic for some of this stuff. You just grab what you can in the moment.
Yeah.
So that is one area of it, one aspect of it. But what you're really doing is you're starting to get more sensitive to the fact that there's content everywhere.
Right.
So as things are happening, you start to realize like, I should probably capture this.
Exactly.
Last night was game night, here at in my house, the Tuesday night is game night. So I did not get the game night selfie, which I usually do, but Kanique got one.
Yeah.
And I saw it she posted, I was so pissed off because she won Phase 10. She had 4 wilds. I'm like, how do you get 4 wilds? Like, who does that? But anyway, that's a whole other story for another time. But the point is, she captured it. So it's like family is now starting to realize like, oh, this is Daddy didn't get the normal selfie or the normal video clip. Let me get one as well.
Right.
So you're starting to gain a little bit of a sensitivity. But I also want to say that there are times where you recognize, this is a moment. So I was at a conference this past week, and I'm working with the production crew. And before everybody was let into the room, we were on the stage tweaking the lighting. And so the lighting engineer got the lights to where he wanted it. I was standing at the podium. And once he was done, I was like, I'm going to take a quick video. So I grab a video. I just share with some people a quote that I liked and something of value with the quote. I didn't even say anything about the conference. I didn't even say anything about where I was, but I was turning around the whole time.
Yeah.
And people got a chance
to see
to
the background and
what the whole seating setup looks like. And so this is what I mean by being the content. You're on location somewhere that other people are not.
Right.
And that conveys two things at the same time. But it's a matter of being sensitive. Like, this is a moment where I could actually capture something.
Yes.
It isn't even something that I'm actually doing.
Right.
But I'm just going to share with something of value that people would want to see. In other instances, so you have the three things now. So the one where it's unintentional, where you're just, look, boom, let's grab this and we might use it later. Other times you are recording something in a location that you're not normally.
Right.
But then there are other times where you're just capturing what you normally do.
Yes, your everyday.
What your everyday is. So if you're speaking, give somebody your phone. Can you grab a couple of clips? You don't care what they... Just get the clips.
Yep.
Just get the clips.
I have been in spaces where I don't actually know anybody. Like, I'm here as a guest to speak or whatever. Nice. And prior to starting, I just set up my phone and I said to someone, I literally, I said to someone, I said, hey, about 30 seconds in, can you take my phone off of that? Do you see my phone's on the table right there? Yeah. Just end the recording for me.
Right.
She was like, okay. And then she brought me my phone and I'm still up here speaking or whatever.
Wow.
And then I integrated that into my talk because I was speaking to like women business owners, entrepreneur speakers. And I said to them, did you see that? That was me capturing content of me speaking to you. Because I want to also be seen as a speaker. So I want people to be able to see that this is something that I do here and there, whatever.
Yeah.
So it's like, it doesn't have to be deep.
No.
It doesn't have to be difficult. No. I didn't even have my tripod that day. Like, I was totally...
Prop the thing up.
I just propped it up against something on the table, like the centerpiece on the front table in front of me, So it doesn't have to be deep. And you also don't have to be embarrassed about it.
No.
Like, own it.
No, own it.
This is the thing that I do. I'm capturing that.
Yeah. No, there's a conference that I go to every year. And the first year, I didn't mean for this to be a thing. But the first year I took a selfie with the group I was speaking to. The next year, as I was ending, somebody's like, you're not going to take the selfie. So I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
So I took a selfie. Now, the third year, of course, now it's a thing. Now it's a thing.
It's a thing.
But own it.
Yes.
We are in a content-driven world.
I was about to say, in 2025, people are in the airport dancing on the moving walkway. So you have nothing to be embarrassed about.
One of the times, this is huge. One of the types of content, the gym videos, right?
Yeah,
that people are recording in the gym, and then somebody is walking over to talk to them, and then they realize that they're recording. They're like, oh, they run out of the shot. I love those videos, but we live in this kind of world where it's
not even a big deal anymore, guys. If this was 10 years, listen,
it'd have been awkward.
It's awkward.
Yeah.
It was, and I was always the person to capture a moment. Like, if you go on my Google Photos, I mean, going back to like 20.
Praise God for Google Photos.
2011, like I've got pictures. I've always been that person.
Years.
So that used to be. It'd be like, oh, here go Taina, like with the camera.
Not anymore.
Oh, guys, get over it.
Not anymore.
What Taina does.
Not anymore.
Not anymore. It's not just me now.
Now it's everybody.
So
you'll see a random phone propped up somewhere.
Correct.
You'll look over and just kind of look around like,
okay, that person is recording themselves right now.
You're doing it. So don't feel awkward about it. No need to apologize.
Right.
People are gonna get to know you through these posts in such a way that when they see you, they're gonna be like, so what are you doing? Are you gonna capture anything? Are you gonna you guys?
I went to a conference. And people who follow me were there for my talk, and they came up to me. Oh my goodness, and then they saw my phone popped up. They're like, "Am I gonna be in your?" I'm like, "If you want to be, like, come on."
Let's hit the record button. Let's
go. It's a thing. Like, people understand that about you, and they know that you do work that you share with other people, and some of them found you because of it.
Yeah.
So there's nothing embarrassing about that.
Listen, people. I have found people who want to be involved.
For sure.
They want to be involved. Like, man, are you doing testimonials? Can I record something with you?
Right.
Yeah, let's go. Let's go. What do you want to talk about?
Yeah.
Man, when you did this, and they're looking at my phone, I've got it up with selfie mode, and they're looking at my phone, talking into it, telling people what transformation I was able to help them have. That is gold.
Yeah.
That is gold. And that is you being the content. That is you being the content. Listen, my son knows how to do a reel. My daughter knows how to do a reel.
Exactly. Everybody captures something.
Everybody's capturing something. My wife, she was at a conference with me. She grabbed so many clips. My editor was just like, thank you for this.
Exactly.
So it's just a matter of being sensitive, understanding, like, let me look at my calendar. What's happening this week?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm going to that event.
I got to make sure to
capture some content. It's not a matter of, let me put a piece on a block on the calendar where I'm going to sit down and record every single time. Like, it doesn't have to be that.
Mean, because sometimes that is people's work. Like, there are people whose whole job is on social media, right?
That's exactly
and so they have times when they sit down and they create content. I have done that before. What we mean by be the content is whatever you were already going to be doing.
Right.
Wherever you were already going to be doing whatever it is that you were going to do, capture that.
Whew.
That's all we're saying. Capture you actually living your life, doing your work. That's being the content.
Being the content. Being the content. Being the content. I love this stuff. One thing I want to share here in terms of when you're at a location and you want to record something, like what I did this week at that on stage. I didn't necessarily want to say anything about the event. I didn't want to say what I was going to speak on. I wanted to share something else, but I also wanted to showcase that I was in this other location. So here are some prompts. And I'm gonna say this prompt. We'll see what Taina comes up with. So prompt number 1 is, I hate to break it to you, but I'll give her some time. I'll give her some time.
Okay, so you're saying here are some things that you can put along with content that you capture, like B-roll type content that you capture.
Either B-roll, or if you're on location somewhere
and you want to say something.
You want to say something.
You want to say something directly
either
to
way,
camera.
Either way. So you can use it as a quote, and it's on there while like with your sunsets or whatever. I hate to break it to you, but but I'm giving you prompts, because one of the things that I when I coach, these are one of the things that people say to me is like,
what do I say?
I don't know what to say. But what I found to be super helpful is the prompt. Like, I hate to break it to you, but websites are not dead, right? We just had an episode on this.
Right.
Websites are really not dead.
I hate to break it to you, but nobody wants to watch blurry videos.
Boom. I hate to break it to you, but we actually couldn't hear you. Like, your mic was off.
Your mic was not on.
So I swiped away.
I scrolled away.
I hate to break it to you, but you have a piece of toilet tissue hanging from your leg, right? I just, and whatever it is,
whatever.
But I mean, so some of those are hilarious, but
some of them can be useful.
Absolutely.
No, and I mean that, like, pro tip, when you're going to take a picture, please just real quick, front facing camera. I'm begging you guys.
Oh my word!
I hate seeing your videos that look like a '90s dream sequence from a sitcom. When they would have like the blurry thing because someone is dreaming.
Please don't do that.
Why do your pictures look that way?
Come on.
Why do your videos look that way?
See, this is a great be the content moment. This is a great be the content. So because you literally, and you could use a blurry. Okay, we're getting way too deep. But you can use it. But you get the idea. You get the idea. All right, here's. I only have one more. I got 2 more. 2 more. Okay, something strange happened last night. That's the prompt, and you can fill in the blank. I mean, whatever that thing is, I'm giving you permission to use the prompt to launchpad into something else. I was like I said, I was at this conference this weekend. One of the things I was doing was running the tech lab, and so I had a whole studio set up and a chair. Camera, lights, everything. So people were coming in and sitting down. I'm like, okay, record something. They're like, what do you want to record? So at this particular conference, I said, what's working in ministry? And the people who literally said to me 2 seconds earlier, I don't know what to say, immediately, because of the conference. I mean, it was a pastoral leadership conference. So I'm like, what's working in ministry? Oh man. You can see them light up.
They get excited, yeah.
So they repeated like, yo, what's working for me in ministry right now is bum, 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 bum. Prompts really help.
That's great.
And so
I like that.
Something strange happened last night. Well, what was it? And here's the thing. The thing with the prompt is twofold. It helps you, the creator, have something to say, but people will pause. Something strange happened. Like, well, hold up.
Right.
What happened?
Yeah. You hooked them.
I hate to break it to you. Well, wait a minute.
Right.
What are you breaking to me?
Right.
People pause. So these prompts aren't just helping you to have something to say, but they're designed,
to get the attention of your viewer.
For the love of God, don't say, hey, I'm Kirk Nugent, and I go by this, and I want to share with you. Please don't. Please don't.
No.
Please stop that. Stop that. They can see that they can see your name because they're watching on your handle on Instagram or on Facebook or wherever. They can watch. I
hate it so much.
Start with, I hate to break it to you, but, or something strange happened last night. Hold up. You immediately have their attention. Here's the last one. The last one is, I heard this quote recently and it deeply impacted me. And it said, hold up. I'm already invested.
Right.
I'm already invested. So I'm saying all these things to say, if you don't have something to say, you can make something up.
Mm-hmm.
If you need a prompt, you can use one of these to Launchpad, but also be thinking about ways to capture that attention immediately as soon as people come onto your content or to your reel or onto your video or whatever post it might be. It could be typed, but even if somebody reads the phrase, man, this thing changed the way I think.
Right.
I want to know now.
Yeah.
Now I want to know. You know, and even if it's something I already knew, you've got me.
Exactly.
That's the whole point. It's like you get to have fun with this thing. You have permission to really just kind of make it your own. And being the content is exactly that. You are the content. That's absolutely cool. All right. The last thing I want to say on this is the 5 F's. I've said it before way earlier in the series, but when we're talking about being the content sometimes has to do with your vocation.
Mm-hmm.
So we're both coaches.
Mm-hmm.
I do a lot of video production, and so every now and again, I will literally just turn on the camera and be like, "We switching today, right?" And I've got a bunch of equipment in front of me, and so that is a very valuable. Those are valuable posts. Do those posts, but the other types of posts, and we alluded to this in the episode several times: faith, family, fitness, food, fashion. What's your favorite kind of food? You are a foodie. So
yeah, I was about to say I just be eating. I just am a big bag. I want all the things.
Food, fashion,
yeah,
and you're opinionated.
Yeah, I am.
When it comes up,
I have strong opinions.
It's one of those things where it's like so we had this conversation with a good friend. I was like, "What did the baggy thing come back from? Like
we're back.
We are way baggy. Like
it's back.
It's back."
Like 90s, early 2000s, back.
So fashion, somebody may say, but I'm a leadership coach.
Mm-hmm.
Like somebody may, I'm a medical doctor. Like, why do I care about fashion? Talk about
what do you wear when you're doing your job?
What
are you wearing when you're doing your job?
What's normal?
Right.
You can join the conversation. Being the content gives you permission to still stay in your lane, but be able to join different conversations that everybody's having. Who's not talking about fashion? Who's not talking about fashion right now? Like the little short jackets. I'm like, why can't the jacket come down a little further? Why is the jacket stopping here? Like above the belt? What's going on right now? I can't even buy a jacket. But this is me being, the old guy who clearly I'm now being called Unc everywhere I go.
Yeah.
I'm looking around like, I thought my name was Kirk. I didn't know it was going to be completely Unc, like across the board.
Across the board.
This is the generation that we're in.
Right.
You're basically just plugging in faith, as I mentioned, family. We talked about the game night. We talked about, being in the car, getting yourself, your husband, the baby. We talked about fitness. Fitness posts go hard.
Yep.
So, and you could talk about what are some of the things that you do for fitness. I was on a group coaching call, and one of the ladies was on the call. She was on her treadmill on the call.
Wow.
Like you could see her actively stepping.
Wow.
I'm like, that's pretty dope.
I'm not mad at that.
No, I'm not mad at it at all. But I can only imagine that could be a plus for her.
Right.
Like she could talk about, hey, during certain coaching calls, this is what I do.
Yeah.
And this is what I use. Here's the link. If you want one, you know what I mean? You get your affiliate stuff going. But all of that stuff is you just being the content. Like then I'm on a mission. I have a very sedentary job. I'm sitting at that chair. I'm on Zoom. I'm coaching, but I'm on a mission to lose weight. How do I do that? I've implemented this thing.
I'm always going to tell you guys this because I just need you to know that this stuff does work.
It does.
And then it brings you more opportunities. I've gotten fitness gear, like clothing, as an affiliate of a company because I was working out, and they were like, "Hey, can we send you our set?" Sports bra and leggings. And
nice, let's go.
And I was like, yeah, absolutely. They sent me one. Then again, they're like, okay, would you like a paid partnership where
Let's
we'll
go.
pay you to take pictures in the set? I'm like, absolutely. I was going to wear it anyway. And I do wear it to work out. Like, none of this is difficult.
No, none of this is difficult or is a lie.
It's not a lie. I'm
That's
just actually, because I showed myself living my actual life, doing the things that I was doing, faith, family, fitness, food, whatever. I've been asked to come to restaurants and eat because I have shown myself eating with my husband on a date night at a you see what I'm saying?
This is gold.
This is all, and you're thinking I'm not a lifestyle influencer. It doesn't matter. If you're a creator,
there you go.
Right? And you want to be able to connect with your audience, you want them to like, know, and trust you. That's what it takes to get people to buy from you. That's what it gets to get people to like
come into your ecosystem.
Correct.
Yes.
Repeat watchers, repeat commenters, repeat engagers is like, know, trust. So these are some of the easy things.
Signing up for your mailing list, booking a coaching call, getting into your community, whatever it might be. Sometimes the thing that they're looking for, like I can't remember the guy's name, but we were on a call and the guy was like, man, I cyber stalked you because I wanted to join your community, but I was like, bruh, is he real? Like, I don't know. Is this? And then I, saw the pictures of your family, okay.
Yeah, this is a whole person.
This is a whole person. There was a time where people would say, man, you met that person online? Like, oh my word, that's weird. Now we're in an age, not 100%, but we're starting to see that thing shift where it's like, you met somebody cold you didn't know anything about them from the internet? Like, you didn't see anything? Like, we've completely shifted over to this other thing now. So it's like, I feel way more comfortable doing the, a Starbucks or a Panera meetup because we've been chatting online for months.
Yeah.
Whereas,
I want to say.
Oh yeah, please dive in.
Do not feel like you have to share parts of your world that you're not comfortable with.
Oh, absolutely. Right? There's no rules here.
You can decide in advance. These are my boundaries. I don't show my kids, or I know children, like people who created educational children's content without ever showing their kids. Wow. Like there was this Montessori lady I used to follow. She called her kids S and A. That's all we knew about them, and we never saw their faces.
But you followed the content. You might
sometimes see a silhouette of them, like in the background of something. Yeah. But I completely trusted her when she talked about what she was doing with her children and what I could do with my kid. And so she was still showing us her life, but she just didn't want her kid's identity on the internet, which is totally fair.
You have full permission to.
You have permission to implement your boundaries, but once you know what your boundaries are, you're like, okay, well, I'm gonna shoot it this way, or you can hear my kid playing in the back, but you can't see their face, or I don't necessarily want to show the outside of my house.
Me neither.
Because
there's a whole thing there.
One day I will tell you guys that story. Okay. Do not show the outside of your house on the internet.
It sounds like we need to have an episode on this one.
Yeah, be careful. Huntsville is not that big a town. I'll just say that.
It's not.
But you can have certain boundaries where I'm not going to show certain things. Yeah. But then all right, well then outside of that, I can capture this.
You have latitude. Exactly. You have space to be able to do certain things. Those are the segments, I believe. Faith, family, fitness, food, fashion. These are the sections, the buckets, if you will, of content. Again, you have your boundaries. I generally don't. I'll take a selfie on date night, but I'm not doing a reel. I'm not doing a video. Every now and again, I'll show the kids. I feel like they're old enough now to where I will do that. Yeah. When they were younger, it was a complete blackout. There was nothing. These are just personal preferences for me. But I'll give you this as a joke. I was my son was literally sitting right at this desk editing a video, and I did that reel. I did the voiceover saying, man, training him up. He's now editing, I have a client podcast, so he's now editing that podcast exclusively, and I pay him to do that. Somebody DM'd me and was like, can I pay him
hello?
Can I pay him to edit mine? Like, how much is he charging? Like, is he set up for business?
Valid question.
This is
What's
just
his
me.
Cash App? Because literally, I will pay him.
And it was just me literally saying, like, man, one of the things that we as media professionals have an onus to do is to train the next generation.
Right.
That was the major
saying.
Piece of the post. I wasn't trying to get him any business, but the whole idea is, in that sense, he was the content.
Right.
And because I showed that, now people are like, well, dang, can we pay him?
Can we pay
him?
Why are you gatekeeping?
Like, somebody's going
to gatekeeping your kid?
Know somebody's going to message right off of this episode like, yo, but for real though.
But actually.
But no, seriously.
Can I?
Can I? Oh my word. No, but these are some of the things I wanted to leave with us today. Automating trust. Automating trust. I want to say that again. Automating trust and attention is more profitable than crypto or stocks. Automating trust by being the content. And you literally, it's on autopilot at that point.
Right.
Sometimes, like I said, with my son, I'm not even trying at that point. But because people have been following, they know this is, these are values that we have. It's like, oh, I trust this guy. Right. I trust Taina.
Right.
Now that I trust her, you're almost at a point where you almost have to say to people like, hold on, look, let me set it up.
Right. Right.
Don't just send me the money. I don't even know if I want to do this.
I've told you guys this before. That's how I became a coach. They and knew and trusted me as an influencer.
Boom.
As a blogger.
Boom.
And then because I was giving a certain type of advice to women, they were like, do you do this? Can we pay you? Yeah. Can I be your client? And I was like, wow. I mean, I guess.
Wow.
You know? So...
No, that's gold. That's gold. And I don't even want to add anything else to it. Automating trust and attention. Automating trust and attention. This is the name of the game. Content from all its perspectives and sides and angles, which this whole series, this whole podcast has been about from literally episode 1 till now. We've been walking you through this whole thing. We talked about monetization last week. We talked about websites not being dead the week before that. It's having all the different pieces in place that really enable you to create this fuller picture of trust automation, right? Attention automation. And one of the things that I talked about earlier with Taina is like the digital footprint, right? The digital footprint is like everything. You might have, some stuff on Instagram here, some stuff on Facebook. You got your website, you have your mailing list, you have your email domain. We talked about all this stuff, right? We talked about knowing your target audience, value proposition. Now we're talking about being the content, but putting all of it together gives you a window into this person's world. In our next episode, we're going to be talking about the digital footprint. And I want to make sure you get a chance to come back for that. But for today, my challenge to you is to post something where you are the content. You are the content. And tag us. Yeah,
we want to see.
We want to see. We want to see. We want to see. This has been another episode of the How It All Works podcast. I am your host, Kirk Nugent.
And I'm Taina Nixon.
And we will see you in the next one, where we hope we have some feedback from you guys where you were the content. Later.
Bye.